Hi, welcome to my channel. My name's Serena. Like we discussed before, we're reading my social care file. So if anyone's thought about doing it, you can watch me do it and know how it is. So we left off last week. We was just talking about an incident and me running away from home, basically. This paper is a diary sheet, an assessment record, and it's dated the 29th of September 1997, and allocated care following an incident in which Miss Reynolds was hit in front of social worker by her parent. I was staying with my grandma, so I do remember that incident, basically. And it's just details about line managers and grandmother, where my nan lives, and that someone's the allocated social worker. Like, the writing here is terrible, so it's so hard to understand, but that's that. I think there are more papers detailing that incident, so I'll just get back to that at the time. This is dated the 25th of the 9th, 97, so even before this. It says, Serena requested that we accommodate her. She did not want to return home. Asked if she had any relatives who would care for her. She said no, although she was in contact with her grandparents. Honestly, I just wanted to get as far away from my mum as possible, and I didn't think my nan's was far enough. Anyway, it says Serena says mother does not allow her out, and Serena left home on several occasions. Yes, I ran away from home on several occasions. And then it says, I then joined with Serena's mother in the other interview room. She admitted the incident with the shoe brush. Basically, she tried to attack me by throwing a shoe brush at me, and it missed me and it hit my brother instead. And I told him about it. And she said she was very upset. Asked if there were family to care for Serena. She said that her grandmother would have her, as Serena was her, and it says in inverted commas, favourite grandchild. Mum agreed not to contact Serena over the weekend, and I told Mum I'd allocate the case on Monday and that a social worker would start to work with her and Serena. Serena agreed to go to her grandmother reluctantly. I told Miss Reynolds that I'd be referring this to some team and the police may be involved. Miss Reynolds accepted this. I rang Serena's grandma. I agreed to ask Serena, but said Serena was rude and there was anger towards Serena. That's actually kind of upsetting. Because basically I was attacked before in front of all the social workers, and that's obviously when they knew something was wrong. But I'd been telling them I'd been attacked for ages, and they didn't really do anything or take me very seriously. All this anger my nan had towards me was misplaced because, you know, I was being abused and she didn't really realise. I have a feeling she kind of knew things was wrong, but it was much easier to believe, I guess, the bad child narrative, especially since I was isolated and I'd never really told anyone about my abuse. I just kept it inside, and obviously I felt like guilty and like something was wrong with me. That's what it was happening. So when I did get all the anger, it did hurt, but I also felt in a way like I deserved it. At the time I felt like that. But yes, I think I'll look at one more page. One more page. It's random. It says, my parent realised a disappointment with herself and Serena. It was further mentioned that Serena at some point didn't see her biological father for 8 years. Her last contact with him was Christmas '96. This is true, he wasn't really around. My mother was asked if I might feel left out because of my absent father. The younger sibling's father visits family home regularly. Miss Reynolds says it's... And then it just says my mother's on benefits, basically. And that she gave my mum a lecture on being a role model to the children because she was on benefits, which I don't see how that really helps. I think it's funny that, our parent was abusive to us, and the thing that they decided to give her a lecture on was the fact that she didn't have a job. And told her it's alright, nobody's perfect. And mutual respect. Possibly that Serena could be angry towards her mother for her father's absence. Now, this is the thing that's really bullshit. No one asked me how I felt. No one ever asked me. People just use their really shallow analysis. They just, gave me one look and felt they knew everything that was in my mind. I mean, why would I be angry with my mum for my father not being around? That's kind of his fault, isn't it? And I think I always felt like that. I was never angry with her about that. But I just think it's so easy when you have an absent father as well for people to blame that for everything. And if worse things are happening, they just get overlooked because you have an absent father, and anything you can do, you do. Any negative behaviour could be down to the fact that you have an absent father and not something more sinister or harmful going on. Like, the person who wrote this was a professional, someone who, was charged with the welfare of children, vulnerable children. And she's just written that my behaviour is anger at my father not being around, not having asked me. And, all these years later, and at the time wasn't true then, isn't true now. Angry with my mum for a lot of things, but my father being around isn't one of them. I wouldn't have blamed her for that. That's quite a lot, actually. So, yeah, gonna dissect that a bit more, actually. But yeah, there's one thing there that's not true, and we're only a few pages in, so there you go. Till next time, see you later.